Understand this and understand this one fundamental thing. Man, it's not about condemnation. You got to understand, man. People, we go through things in our lives and we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect on this earth. Sometimes in your life, let's keep it funky with it. I'm just be funky. We make terrible decisions. We make horrible choices. We do things that make us look bad. I mean, we like bad things that we feel is bad as a person, or the actions that we take. We do some grimy stuff at times. Nobody is exonerated of this. Everybody sins. Everybody be in a position where they know they did something that was foul. That's just what it is. Okay. But with all that being said, a lot of people, it's hard to get up out that foul energy and do something different. It's like they do stuff and it makes them feel bad, and so they don't want to look at it, so they'll continuously keep on doing even more bad stuff, or whatever the case may be, that keeps on making them feel terrible about themselves. And oftentimes these people feel extremely terrible about themselves, and then when somebody's saying certain things or they hear the truth about things, people, they vehemently hate people like this. It's not even necessarily because of the tone. It's not the reason why, the way that somebody said it. Those are very important things that people have to do and understand when you're saying something that's truthful, or whatever the case may be. But in general, what the truth does, it triggers people in a sense, because it's like people, they don't want to receive it. They don't want to see reality for what it is, and they want to reject it, because if they do, they have to acknowledge what they are and what they have done. What they feel is condemned. They feel shame, and then they run away from this. Why is this so important? Why is this so important? Because oftentimes when you feel condemned and you feel in shame, you never grow as a person, because you keep running away from that shame. And everybody does it. This is where I get to the point of saying that it's not about condemnation. Condemnation, in a way, is it's almost like somebody's condemning you. They're shaming you for what your actions, and they're labeling you. It's almost like they think, like they saying, "Oh, this is what you all did in your life. You a horrible person. You going to the pits of hell, or whatever. You know, you gonna die in hell." You know what I'm saying? And so people, they run away from that because they think like, oh man, I'm a terrible person. Deep down inside, they feel like they're a terrible person, but they don't want to acknowledge these things because of their actions are terrible. And they know that they're terrible, but oftentimes they don't want to see that. They don't want to hear it. This is why they will hate you so damn much when you say something that is truthful. It doesn't matter how kind you say it. It doesn't matter, because you're bringing people back into reality when you're saying something that is truthful. You understand what I'm saying? That's why this society is trying to shush people up so much about things, because they're claiming that they're trying to get help people to not be triggered. They're trying to get people not to feel shame or whatever. These people are some liars. They're some liars, and they do want people not to be triggered in this sense. They benefit greatly off of people not facing their problems. They benefit greatly off of people not being triggered, and then they living in this shame. They're living in this pain, because as a result, with that shame and that pain, you're always going to be making decisions based off of that pain. It's like you stepped on or you broke your leg or something like that, or you did something that really hurt your leg, right? Maybe it's still intact, but you don't want to acknowledge that it happened, and you don't want to go to the hospital. You just want to ignore it. What's going to happen is that it doesn't, just because you're ignoring it and you're ignoring reality, it doesn't change that you got pain in your leg. It doesn't change that your foot hurt. It doesn't change all these things. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to start walking around in a modified way based off of that pain, so you can feel as little pain as possible. You're not going to go to the hospital. You're not going to address the problem or anything like that. And it's completely understandable, but you're not going to face it. But now you don't realize that your life is now hampered based off of how you hurt your leg. You could have been a runner or sprinter, and you now are walking, and you only have 6%, 5%, 20% of your leg. You don't have the full 100%. That's going to slow you down greatly in life. And as long as you don't address the problem, a lot of people, they'll just try to keep on situating. They'll make their foot in such a way that it doesn't cause too much pain. But they're going to ultimately ignore it. They can't really put it on the solid ground. They can't turn it over because their foot is hurt, and they don't want to acknowledge that. And so as a result, these people, they will stay in a certain place in their lives. You understand what I'm saying? This is like what condemnation is. It is that pain. It's that pain in your foot that's cracked, and you don't want to ignore it. But you only working at 60%. But not only that, now you start to make decisions based off of your pain. You're making decisions based off of that, and you get emotional. You get upset. Imagine if somebody was always come around you and they keep on looking at your foot like, damn, man, what's wrong with your foot? Like, and then if they put some pressure on it, you'll get very mad. You'll get triggered. You'll get very upset. You'll be ready to swing with them. Why? It's because they're acknowledging that pain. They're touching that pain, and it's making it hurt. And you'll get mad at that person. Oh, I hate this person. This person's this. This person's that. That person's this. And the equivalency of the person coming up and touching your foot is a person that's telling you the truth about something. But people that will vehemently hate that person, they will want to be around other people that don't don't acknowledge, and that they also have some type of ailment. Something is broken with them. A person's arm could be broken, but they keep on ignoring it. Another person's neck can be broken. I don't know how the hell they ignoring that. Well, they're ignoring it in certain. So they're gonna hang around people that have other broken amenities just like them, so that all of them to stay together, so they don't have to look at the reality that something is wrong. This is why when they see you and they see you running at 100%, your foot is healed, and you're running, they will hate you. They're like, who do you think that you are? The reason being is because there's like, no, you need to be like us. You need to, and so that what they're trying to do is break your foot. They're trying to break your arm. They're trying to break you down in such a way that you're now on their level, that you cannot run and stuff like that and run as fast as possible to get to wherever you want to be. But in general, this is the equivalent of us not accepting that pain, the shame of what our actions are. This is the equivalency of it. You understand what I'm saying? And the society, they plays on it. That damn devil's a tricky son of a bitch. He knows what he's doing. And this is the reason why they don't want people to get triggered. This is the reason why they keep on talking about this emotional aspect. They don't really want people to get through things. They want to get people to hide it, run away from it. Even though somebody is saying something that triggers people, people are now trying to say, oh yeah, we should hush people. We're getting rid of the First Amendment. We're getting rid of so many things right in front of our eyes from the simple fact that we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want to trigger people. We want to put people in such a way that they feel condemned. We don't want to do these things. And as a result, these people, they keep on making decisions based off of that condemnation, that shame, even whether or not they even know it. And the elite, the true people of power, that damn devil understands this. And he understands, just like I said before, with your leg being broken, you can only do certain type of actions. You're going to make decisions that's going to directly reflect the brokenness of your foot, the hurt or whatever. You're not going to go out skating, or you're going to skate on one leg. You're not going to do certain type of things. You're not going to go driving with that broken leg. You're going to have to do something else to modify it. You see what I'm saying? You will start to make decisions that is ultimately a lot of times going to be deleterious to you. It's going to slow you down greatly in your life based off of that pain. And then you're going to accrue more pain because you're not acknowledging the problem. If that kind of makes sense. These bastards of this world, these elites, that damn devil, he understands this. This is why they want to muffle the truth about things. This is why they want to censor everything. It's not about really that they want you to do better. They don't want to hurt people. They don't want to harm people. They understand that this is going to help people when people are triggered. When you say the truth, it's going to actually help people. But what they do too is they claim a false sense of morality. And what they do next is they get the very individuals that's in that pain. They put those individuals in positions of power. They give that person a microphone. They give this person. And again, because they are making decisions purely based off of the pain, I can guarantee you they're going to be short-sighted. They're not going to truly think about this, and they're still in an emotional state. This is oftentimes when you come up and say something against it, people, they feel attacked. Their emotions is in the way. They will come back at you, not with logic, and you're not coming at them in a certain type of way. You're not even coming at them as an individual. You're coming against the paradigm. You're coming against the lies that people are saying. You're coming against that. But people who are in an emotional state and their foot is still hurting, they're not hearing you. They can't hear what you're saying because they're hearing with their feelings. They're making decisions based off of that broken foot. They're making decisions based off of that. And so as a result, their results will always be bad in a lot of ways, in the sense that it's purely based off of how their foot is hurt. You understand? They're making decisions purely based. And so when their foot is healed, making decisions as if your foot was broken when you're healed, that makes no sense. You'll slow down productions. You won't be as effective. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make no sense at all. But when you're in that broken space, you got a broken foot, you're in a state of pain. You can't see this. And so the elites know that. That's why they give these people the microphone. That's why they give these people the weapon of morality. Who? The devil gives these people that's in pain the weapon of morality. You know why? They're in a state of pain. When you are in a state of pain and your emotions is high based off of that pain, I don't give a damn what you say, that trauma and stuff, there's emotions that are attached to it. This is why they get triggered and they can't hear you, and they will come up against you if you're saying something that is acknowledging that pain. They will come at you vehemently, and they truly do think in their head that you're the wrong one. It's because they're emotional. It's because they're in the emotional state. This is why the elites give these people the power. And this is why the elites give them the power and the weapon of morality, because they know that these people are operating from a place of pain. They pimp people's pain. That's what they do. They're pain pimpers. And when they pimp people's pain, they're able to bring in things that they know damn well is going to be deleterious, even to the individuals that they're propping up. They're giving the weapon of morality to They know that this is ultimately going to hurt that person even more, but they're sneaky, they're conniving, there's some little tricky little bastards, because they come in smooth and they play on the emotions of the ones that are the most broken. They give them the position of power. They give them the weapon of morality. Now, whatever they're saying, it trumps what everybody else is saying. Now, feelings is more important than logic and facts. Again, there is a balance to everything. There's a place for feelings. There's a place for all that stuff. But 99% of the time, 100% of the time, this is what we're making our decisions based off of. We're going to die. We're going to fall in the pit. We're going to go to destruction because we're making decisions based off of our emotions. How often you as an individual made decisions when you were in your emotions and you look back at your life and thought, what in the hell was I doing all the way back then? Why was I making them foolish mistakes? Why was I doing this? Why was I doing that? Why did I do that? How many people are in the jail cell right now because they let their emotions get the best of them? And they like, dang, man, I should just calm down. I should have left away. I should do this. How often do you make good decisions when you're in a place of pain? Not that often. Oftentimes, even when you're a victim of some type of crime, what they do in our justice system, they give a third party the ability to make the punishment, You know why they do this? It's because they understand when people who is the victim, they're in that victim state. If you were to give them the power to condemn or whatever the person that harmed them, they know damn well 99% of the people, if you stole $20 from 99% of the people, they will throw your ass in the electric chair, strap you up, put on a doggone gurney and everything like that, and then turn on that damn switch, light that ass up, and send that nigga to God. That's what they would do. They will send you to God. If you sold $20 for some people, they will kill you for $20. They don't give a damn. It's because they're in their emotions. And when they calm down off their emotions, they're like, dang, man, I probably shouldn't have done all that. You understand? This is why the elites give these people who are in the most pain the weapon of morality. Because now, cancel culture. Now, if you say stuff, it's triggering people. It's hurting people's feelings. It's this, and this. And they're doing this not because they actually truly care about people's feelings, folks. No. What they're trying to do, or what they're effectively doing, is using these people who are in the place of pain because they have the moral higher ground is because we're so much more worried about how people might feel and stuff like that. We're completely obliterating the truth right in front of everybody's eyes. Now, it's better to be kind than to say the truth. And it's fake kindness. It's not real kindness. It's fake kindness. People want you to run around here nowadays and just be completely fake. They want you to be fake. They want you to be faked. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, why is this all so important? It's because what the devil does and what people in general is, it's condemnation that they're running from, the shame. And you got to understand one thing. God does not shame you. That does not come from God. It comes from the damn devil. You understand what I'm saying? And people, they may not understand this, but people, they make decisions based off of shame. The elites know this. That's why they give them people the ability to do whatever they want. A small minority who are in the place of pain is able to dictate everything, dictate every social interaction, and everybody else is supposed to fall down and capitulate. And whatever they're saying, it doesn't have logic and reason and a lot of stuff. And you can tell it's coming from a place of hurt. These people are not even talking from a healed place. And with all that being said, it's not about condemnation. And that's the thing right there. It's not about condemnation to these people, because it's like people feel like you're talking down to them. They feel shameful. When you're saying something that's real, it triggers people because you're bursting that illusion. You're bringing reference to their broken foot. They don't want to see the broken foot, a lot of people. This is why they will attack you vehemently. They want to stay in a situation where they don't have to go and fix their damn foot. They don't have to fix those problems. They don't have to look at that trauma. They don't have to. And I'm not saying that you need to sit there and force people, but to get rid of all these words. Now you can't even say certain type of words because it's going to trigger or upset people. And people don't even understand that what they are doing is they're policing your words for a reason. They're getting rid of the truth right in front of people's eyes. They're doing that right in front of people's eyes. Like for example, the RAPE word. That needs to be said sometimes, because even though people have gone through it, just because they've gone through it and people are not saying that word or whatever the case, now they got other ways that they're saying it. You can't even say sexual abuse nowadays. Now you got to claim it's something else. What they're doing is, because you got all this jargon and stuff that's placed on top of it, and because people don't no longer want to say that word because it's triggering people, the act in of itself is going to happen more and more and more. It's not going to happen less. It's going to happen more. It's because people that don't want to talk about it. They think it's something wrong with saying it. No, it needs to be said so we can work through this and we can prosecute the bastards that did it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we got to have some type of justice. It has to be said. But when people, they feel like they're being condemned. They feel like they're being looked down upon. They feel shame for what they did. Somebody probably in the past shamed them for whatever happened to them. Somebody shamed them in some way, shape, or form. They don't like that feeling. They don't like to feel that way. They feel bad about what they have done to people and done in their lives, and they hate themselves a lot of times. I'm gonna keep it real with you. This might be a real one for too much for people, but I'm telling you, this is what it is. And so this condemnation is not about condemnation. When people are talking and stuff like that, the truth is the truth and the truth will set you free. Sometimes you have to look at the truth and acknowledge that it is. Sometimes the hardest part and the scariest part that people don't even realize is the fact that you admit that something happened in the very first place. That is sometimes the hardest part that you have to take. Sometimes that's the hardest time is to acknowledge that your foot is broken, because when you get from that point and you actually come down and say, okay, my foot is broken, you got to understand there's nothing wrong with your foot being broken, in the sense that you make mistakes. You're not perfect. You're not Jesus. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. A lot of people are simply lying. A lot of people are acting like they have a perfect life, and they don't. They're lying. But they got people thinking that you're wrong because of what you've gone through or the wrong that you have done in this life. Let's be real. Sometimes we're a terrible person. Sometimes in this moment, we're a terrible person. The fact of the matter is, just because you do wrong right now doesn't mean that you can't get your life right and start to do better, tomorrow. Like, do something better today. Take a baby step today. You understand what I'm saying? It's in getting the ability to continuously keep on doing good out in this world and try to keep on working on yourself to get better. It's not about condemnation. It's about learning. You won't sit there if you just started a sport or something or started whatever. Most times when people start something at the very beginning, they're terrible. They're terrible at it. But the fact of the matter is, when they keep on working at it, they become damn near masters if they keep on working and putting the effort into it. The same way as yourself. Yes, man, you made mistakes. Yes, you probably have wrong people. Maybe you did some dirty, grimy, slimy things. Let's be real. Everybody has been at this point. It's not about condemnation. God does not sit there and look down on you necessarily because of what you did. And I'm not, he doesn't like the behavior. It's nothing about you as the vessel. It's the behavior. You know what I'm saying? That is what he's detestable, that he does not want, that he's not like. It's the behavior. It's not you as an individual. You understand what I'm saying? But what the devil will say, oh yeah, you're that behavior that you did. And it's not to say that, hey man, we sometimes got to wear that letter, but that doesn't mean that can be a part of our story, our testimony. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that you stay right there in that place and that's always who you are. That's a lie from the pits of hell. It's a lie from the pits of hell. Ain't nobody on this earth is perfect. Ain't nobody on this earth ain't did wrong. Ain't nobody on this earth at one time or another has done something that makes them a terrible person in the eyes of people. And you know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, it's like people be thinking like, oh man, it's over with for me. Like, and they'll condemn people. Like, for example, I'm not saying that this is necessarily the truth, but I've heard this a couple of times. Like, if you ever seen these shows where there was a person that killed somebody and the parents or something, they were like, oh man, I ain't never gonna forget this person. But they talking about God too. Oh man, I ain't gonna never forget that person. That person's horrible. And it's understandable. Somebody killed your family member. Somebody did something like that. And it's like, it's unjustifiable and it's understandable to the world that you'll never forget that person. A lot of the world says like, yeah, no, you should never forget that person. That person did something wrong to you. But again, it's like, how can God forgive you if you don't forgive other people? You know what I'm saying? It's like I also heard like, Jeffrey Dahmer, he had right before, he was killed by what's that dude name? That Carver dude? I forgot his first name. But right before he was killed, what he did was, they said he converted to Christianity. He got his life right with God. Whether or not that's true or not, who cares? But the question becomes is, Jeffrey Dahmer is one of those individuals like, oh yeah, he definitely going to hell. If there was ever a person that's going to hell, he will fit the damn bill greatly. Yes, he's the spawn of Satan. Can you imagine? If we go home one day, everybody died, this bad boy, go to heaven and everything like that. And you imagine you see the spirit of Jeffrey Dahmer. What the hell is Jeffrey Dahmer's spirit doing up in heaven? What is he doing here? Like, what is he? And you be looking at God like, God, I think you made a mistake. Jeffrey Dahmer is not supposed to be here. Did you see what he did on earth? He must have took somebody out for their spot. He's not supposed to be here, Lord. No. But it's like, but God does not look at the things in the same way that we look at the things. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he sinned greatly and he has the detestable things that he did, and we as humans, we think that the unforgivable sin is death, murder. I don't think necessarily God doesn't see that in the same way. You know how many people in the Bible they were murderers? Do you know how many people in the Bible that did something foul? Didn't King David, the one that slayed the Goliath? I mean, he was killing people already, but didn't he? He killed Bathsheba's wife. He killed Bathsheba, and then God cursed his family as a result of it. Moses killed somebody, did he not? There's a lot of these men that did horrible things prior to them converting over to God. You know what I'm saying? And they killed people. They were killers. They killed somebody. But yet, God still chose to use some of those people. You understand what I'm saying? Even these people, but people will condemn you back to your past. And that's the damn devil. The devil shames you for these things. God does not shame you for these things. You know what I'm saying? The world does not work in the same way. God is not looking. That's what I'm talking about, where it has nothing to do with condemnation. Simply because somebody is saying something, I understand that it's going to hurt people's feelings and things of that nature. Doesn't mean that you should not hear it. And that doesn't mean that people are shaming you. You're going to feel shame. It's not because of that person. It's because of what is on the internal. You're triggering what you know is already there. That's why it feels shameful and people don't want to listen to it. And it's understandable. Hell, I don't want to listen to half of those things. I don't want to admit the truth. The truth is too damn hard. I'm not saying that stuff is easy, but I'm saying it's worth it in the end. It's not about condemnation. When somebody's correcting, you can imagine you at work and you did something work. You just started the job, so you made a mistake. People don't come in. Well, there's some people, but a lot of people might not. They'll give you the leniency. They won't come in and lambaste you because you made such a horrible mistake on your first 2-3 days or whatever, first 2 weeks. They might not do that because they understand that, like, you got to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the very same way, when people are saying certain type of things, it could feel like condemnation, but it's not. Like, imagine a manager came over while you were at your job and you just started. Imagine he came over and he said, oh, yeah, man, no, you did this wrong right here. So let me show you how to do it correctly. And so he's calling something out, not in a sense to put you down. He's calling just to say, look, man, this happened right here. So we just got to fix that behavior. It has nothing necessarily to do with you being a terrible person. But again, I'm saying, like, we do some terrible things and our behaviors make us who we are. But that don't mean that you can't be a better person tomorrow. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that God is there, and I know he doesn't. He doesn't sit there and look at people and say, you're a horrible person for what you have done. No. That's the devil. And the devil does that. He shames you, and his kids will do that to you. The reason being is because as long as they can make you feel shame, you're going to run away from the problem. You're going to run away from it because it's too much. It feels too much pain. It's like they locked a monster in your closet. That monster, that shame or whatever you've done, they will lock it in a room and you're behind that door. So you can't see it. But people, they're pushing you closer and closer. But while they're doing it, they're telling you all the evilness about what you did. And like, they'll make you feel even more shameful. And now you're afraid to go into the room. You're very afraid. They're afraid, but they're pushing you towards the room. They're never going to open up the door necessarily. Actually, they might, but they'll try to dress it up. They'll make an illusion that it's a very scary thing. And when you actually get these people up off of you and you walk into the room by yourself and you actually look at it, you realize that the problem is bad, but it's not actually as bad as you thought it was. Because it's you know, you thought it was a big monster and it wasn't. It was like, it was a little broken child. You know what I'm saying? And that broken child is you in a certain type of way, your spiritual child to a certain degree. Like, that was you. You know what I'm saying? So when you go in and you confront that problem, you realize it's not as bad as you thought it was. And so you can, even if it is, doesn't mean that you can't wash it off. You can face that damn demon in that room and you realize that the demon was nothing more than a little child. That was you, that was broken in some way, shape, or form. The condemnation comes from the devil, not from God. The condemnation comes from the devil, not from God. His kids will shame you. They will beat you down. I'm not saying that you can't just, you know, you should never feel bad about what the hell you have done or whatever. Or like, shame is completely, like, everybody that's doing that is openly wrong or wicked or something like that. I'm not saying that. You got to have discernment to spot these deceptive bastards, because people will shame you in a negative way. Other people, they're saying things that makes you feel condemned, but they're not doing it to break you. They're doing it to build you back up. You have to sometimes be triggered. You have to look at the problem. People of this world tell you, oh, get over it. No, you need to get through it. You don't need to go over it. You need to go through it, because if you get over it, that means that you're missing the lessons. You're not looking at what's inside. You're jumping over the problem. Therefore, you're going to keep on running into the same problem over and over and over again. But when you go through the problem and you find out what's on the interior, you work it out. You're not avoiding the problem. You go through it. Now you don't make the same mistake that the last time that you did. But people who keep on running away from the problems and people who fear condemnation, they're going to be condemned in the end. It's so ironic because the thing that they're running from the most is what they will ultimately get if they don't ever look at the problem. That sometimes is the biggest thing, is to admit that you did it. It's to admit that that's what happened. It's to admit that that's what you are at this moment. It doesn't mean that you cannot grow tomorrow. The moment you figure out that your foot is broken, the moment that you feel like that something is off, it doesn't mean condemnation. It means that you can now go figure out a way to fix it. With all that being said, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.